Michael Jordan's dominance on the court made him a legend, and his trading cards are just as iconic. From his rookie card to rare inserts and autographs, MJ's cardboard legacy remains one of the most sought after in the hobby.
I think when I was about 12 years old, the 92-93 playoff series, something around that, and that's when I kind of fell in love with basketball and Michael Jordan, the man himself. Growing up in Australia, most people were card collectors back in the day, even if you weren't a basketball player or a fan of the NBA. The love of Jordan himself just made me keep chasing his cards, going from the one-on-ones to the patches to the autos to everything you can think of. These are some of the key cards in the collection. We have here a 50 greatest players on-card auto. Limited to 50, number 23 of 50, so that's quite special. We've got a quad auto here. Jordan, Irving, Magic Johnson and Larry Bird. There would be about around 50 signed Jordan cards in the collection. First few cards of Jordan that I acquired weren't signed cards of his. They were just like as a rookie card, or back then when they weren't too much money. At the time it wasn't as high end as it is now, so it was just, I was always on the hunt for something that I liked the look of. Here we have a 2013 Exquisite Signature Kicks cards. These are limited to 15. The good thing about these, they're both on-card autos, and it's the brand Jordan. So I think this is from the tongue of the shoe. It's got the top and bottom of the Jumpman logo, which is like a set, which is very hard to come by. And you can't beat Jordan. Jordan pioneered the industry, pioneered basketball, pioneered sport. So here we have the Metal Universe PMG Red. They only made 50 of these, unlike the original one where they made 90. This one's very desirable for any card collector, very hard to come by. The PMG card came about through a friend in America who actually owns a card shop. He knew I was looking for some high-end, hard-to-get cards. That was a long time ago, pretty much when they were released, so it wasn't as high-end as it is now. But don't look back, that's one of the primer ones in the collection. We also have the one-of-one Jordan 06 Hot Prospects Road to Springfield. Here we have a 06-07 Ultimate Collections Exquisite Ultimate Triple Jersey Patch. So it's limited to 10. This is number 5 of 10. Some of the most desirable cards for any card collector are the Jordan Exquisite Limited Logos collection. Here's 2 of them, very, very desirable. Ultra rare, limited to 50. They're just a cool card. We have, which I consider the holy grail of cards, for me that is anyway. That's a quad auto. Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, LeBron James, Magic Johnson on-card auto, one-of-one. The card collection is cool, but the really interesting stuff that you want to see is the memorabilia. When I first started collecting the Michael Jordan memorabilia, I would say I was about 16 was my first piece, and my friend owned a card store in Sydney, and he had a piece of memorabilia. I saved up for it. It was $300 back then. It's an artist print of Leroy Newman, who did a painting of Jordan. Jordan signed it, the artist signed it. That was the first piece I got. It just led to everything else that's now in the collection. I had the collection sitting in a room in my house for about 10 years, and I'd literally forgotten about it. And then when The Last Dance came out, the Jordan hype was back, so it kind of reminded me to go and have a look at what I had. That's how the collection came out to be on display today. It's actually the first time I've seen my full collection on display. With the Bulls jerseys I have in the collection, I have pretty much one of each of the jerseys from all his seasons, from rookie up to when he finished. So this is a black pinstripe. This is a Hall of Fame jersey, whereas he's inscribed it Hall of Fame 23. That's a 98 finals jersey, away, front signed. This is a rookie jersey signed on the front. A home jersey, standard 23, a 45 home jersey. pretty much have every Jordan jersey that he's worn his career, from the number 5 jersey, which most people wouldn't even know about, which was from the Pan American Games, I think, in 1983. A couple of the unique signed jerseys I do have of his would be the Johnny Kilroy, which a lot of people probably don't know about. I have a number 12 jersey. Not many people knew he wore it. That's the game where his jersey got stolen. Wore number 12 for the one game against Orlando Magic. When I see Michael Jordan's actual autograph, I think it is a work of art, because I know Michael Jordan prided himself in getting his signature right all the time, and that was one of the things that sold me on his memorabilia. Currently in my collection, I believe there's about 75 signed jerseys, signed shoes. I think I have about 15 or 20 pairs of signed Michael Jordan shoes, signed basketballs. I think it was 13 or 14 at last count. Total, close to 200 items signed by the great man himself, Michael Jordan. This is a picture of Jordan wearing this Blackhawks jersey. It's a little bit of controversy behind this one. He was invited to a Blackhawks game. Blackhawks actually sponsored by Reebok. Michael, being a Nike guy, had a bit of controversy when this photo was released. Anyone that knows Michael Jordan knows he's an avid golfer. And here we have a few of his personal items. That's one of his old drivers. It's an 8-iron that was from his personal golf bag. You can see it's an extended 8-iron, so you know it was from him. A couple of signed golf bags. Here's a pair of his golf shoes. Still got the dirt and the grass on it, and the famous size 13, but he wore those in rounds. Never met Michael himself. I did have a desire once upon a time. I think as I got older, it doesn't really bother me now. I'm pretty close to him with the amount of stuff I've got, so I've got a fair bit of his stuff that has his DNA on it. Here we got the bench chair from the 97-98 season. That was against the Atlanta Hawks, that game. And a good compliment piece to the chair is a NBA Finals team issued used towel. Another pretty cool piece. I think you can still smell the sweat. Probably one of the cheapest upper deck authenticator items of Jordan you could get these days. That alone is probably worth around 4,000 to 5,000 Australian dollars these days. Hence the reason why a lot of people are trying to forge his signature and sell things in the open market. One of the key items to look for is being upper deck UDA authenticator, which this collection is probably 90% UDA. Here's the Tagata hand signed piece. Jordan put his hand in some ink, done it on the Japanese Tagata paper, I think it is, signed it across big bolds, limited edition release of his North Carolina days. Another item is the 30 years of 23s. That was a limited edition box that Jordan's actually signed a pair of Converse shoes. There was 30 of those made. Jordan kept 7 of those for himself, which he gave out to family and friends as gifts. The other 23 were auctioned for a children's charity in America. I managed to get number 11 of 23, and I believe that's the only one that's outside of America. When I look at the collection as a whole, it's kind of impressive to me, even though it's mine, I've had it for so long. I don't look at it as money value, I look at it as part of the collection I laboured over the years to find and put together. One day I'd like them to go to my kids. Hopefully they'll appreciate it the way I did. If not, they'll probably cash in, and when Dad checks out, they'll check in.